Welcome to Giggles and Goals. I'm Leonie.
I'm Crystal-Dior.
And today we are talking about...
What you got on?
What are you wearing?
What is that?
What are you like? What? Look at what we got on today. You know, appropriate for the Giggles and Goals podcast.
I was trying to dress up for y'all.
So but some little razzle dazzle.
Little razzle.
But let's see what these people on TikTok is wearing, because I've seen more than one video about people wearing wild things into job interviews. But before we get into that, let's do our one-liners.
Go first.
Okay. So dress codes may be outdated, but good taste is always in style.
That's a word.
Exactly.
That is a word. I believe in
it's all about the taste.
Tacky is tacky.
Tacky is tacky. Okay?
Okay. So mine is, one thing I'm going to always do is just for the job that I want, not the job that I have.
Right. And if you ain't got a job, then you don't either dress like you sit on the couch.
It'd be funny to me how people who be like, I'm going to wear what I want, don't be having no job.
Who says that? I wonder who says I'm going to wear what I want.
Oh, I've met many of people who are just like, I'm not going to let them control me. I am who I am, but you unemployed. You who you are, broke.
Right. It's like, yes, there's a Gen Z generation who's like, wants to be free and be able to do what they want and wear and look how they want. All power to you. Yes. But in the workplace, I've said it time and time again, that is their domain. You don't just go around just saying, I'm going to show up how I want to show up.
Like when you're the boss, then you can change the rules.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because you're the boss. Mm-hmm. You run things up in here. Until you run things up in here, I feel like you don't get to make the rules.
You don't get to make the rules. And there's obviously there needs to be some respect on both ends with employers and employees. You don't want to just be like, you do what I say as an employer.
There's boundaries.
There are boundaries for sure. And you should have, freedoms and rights and things like that. But when it comes to being presentable, everything shouldn't fly as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. But let's do Who Said That?
Yes, who said that?
Okay, it's my week.
Yeah.
I know who it is, but okay.
Let's see. We gotta preface it.
The quote is, style is a way to say who you are without having to speak.
Okay, so you give me hints.
So, she's a designer.
I was going to ask if she's a designer.
She's a designer. She's a stylist. She started as a stylist, then became a designer.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's racially ambiguous.
Okay,
so
I was going to say Marnie, but she's clearly white. I was going to say June Ambrose, but she's clearly black.
No, she is a mother.
Are we talking about Beyonce?
No.
Okay. Beyonce's mama?
No.
Okay.
This woman is known for style, fashion. None of her clothes are
Rihanna.
Nope.
Oh.
Literally, this is all she does. She's not a singer or an artist or anything like that. She's literally fashion. Fashion is her.
I need more hints. Give me something more obvious.
She, as a mother, let's see. She dated Damon Dash, or maybe she was married to him.
Is this her? Is this the girl that was him and Jay-Z dated back in the day?
Maybe. But she was married
Nicole?
to Damon Dash.
Is she Becky with the good hair?
They thought she was, but it wasn't. It ended up being.
How we know it wasn't her?
Because it was that other chick.
What other chick?
The one who died.
Who died? What are you talking about?
Okay, that's another episode. I gotta catch you up, girl.
What are you talking?
Yeah.
You lying.
I'm telling the truth.
Who died?
I don't know her name. She was just a video girl who was around the time Jay met Beyonce, and he was kind of doing, dating both for a minute. But they're saying it was her. But I don't know.
I'm stunned. Okay, so no, I don't know that girl's name, though.
Her brand is her name. Her name is the brand.
I don't know her.
You don't know the name?
No, what is the girl? First of all, I thought she was over here being the side chick, so I really didn't care about who she was after that.
But you never heard her name?
Nicole?
No.
I don't know.
Rachel Zoe.
Oh, okay. Same motto. Same thing.
Nicole? Same thing as Nicole? But Rachel,
she seemed like she admitted to being Becky with the good hair because she's the one who said it, and then everybody got flayed on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, she could have been. I don't know. It's not like Jay-Z and Beyonce ever confirmed who it was.
Well, it's not like. Well, who knows? It's not like he probably had more than one. That's all.
He probably had a couple Beckys with good hair. But yeah, so Rachel Zoe, that's her quote.
Okay.
So our topic, if you all did already pick it up,
yes,
it's about what are you wearing, when you're going into whatever environment that's professional that you're in, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you were going to a job every day, how do you decide what you're wearing to these situations?
Right.
And this topic started because we saw this video on TikTok, this black woman from Texas.
Yes, I want to play the video.
Okay, so her name is Megan. She is a Gen Zer. That's what their letters are?
Correct.
Okay, she's a Gen Zer. She went to an interview in person. She wore black tailored shorts, a top, and a sweater, cardigan, or something. And the recruiter told her to go home and change. And she got on TikTok outraged about it. You know, did a whole rant, showed her outfit. And TikTok gave her mixed reviews into their response. There were a couple people who defended her, but some people were just like, no. So that's the whole thing. So we're going to play the video.
Yes.
Because she definitely felt like she was in the right.
She felt like she was in the right, but I have mixed feelings about this. So we'll play the video and then I'll share my feelings.
Okay.
So I just got dressed during the interview. And then they decided to reschedule the interview with me for tomorrow. But before they rescheduled, the lady was like, would you like to come back? I could change and then come back. And I was like, no. These are the shorts. These are the size. These are the shorts.
Oh, Jesus. She's so pissed about it, too. She's so irritated.
So I just got dressed during the interview.
Okay.
So that...
What are your initial thoughts?
First of all, when I saw... Okay, my initial thoughts were... First of all, she's really upset. Like, she's like, how... Like, this doesn't make any sense. How can they send me home? 2... It is standard to wear pants or a skirt past your knees.
Yes.
In a job interview.
That was a bigger issue to me than the fact that she was wearing shorts. Because I have some, like, slack professional shorts. And I've worn them to not a job interview, but when I was like a year into my job. But they were loose, they weren't tight, and they literally came to here. And they were...
It looked like something you wear at, like, a child's field trip. Like, you're a parent at a field trip. Or like you're at a company
they were
park
short,
event.
Y'all. They weren't. So go and look at the video. It wasn't, and if we could, we'll probably try to put a picture up on the screen somewhere. Yes. But it's like, it's not, it was, they weren't like booty shorts. But if she sat down, they were. Standing up, they were halfway up her thigh. When she sat down, they went up a little bit.
Right. That much thigh, I don't think is necessary for a job interview. Like, I would feel so uncomfortable walking into at a business office.
With my thighs out.
When I'm right, with my thighs out. Like, how do you sit down when you're... Let me...
Her shirt was just a regular t-shirt. I mean, I don't know.
No, it wasn't it was like the type of thing you have on. It was like one of those...
It looked like a
bodysuit. T-shirt. Oh. It was like a bodysuit.
Okay, well, it was fitted t-shirt. Her sweater looked like it didn't quite fit.
She had a cardigan. It was a little small. Yes. You know,
so one thing that I thought, because I could tell she didn't know any better, and she was trying. She just didn't know any better. I don't think she was trying to be like, I'm not going to wear the traditional professional clothes because I'm going to be myself. It didn't feel like that. It felt like she really thought in her deepest of thoughts
that she was doing the right thing.
So
but you got so defensive.
Yeah.
And I saw people in the comments was like, well, it's like she lives in Texas and you know it's too hot for that. It's like first of all, if you're going to a job interview, unless it is outside where you're supposed to be in like camp attire, you are in air conditioning. It is a requirement to have air conditioning in Texas. You are not going anywhere where it's boiling hot unless you're outside, and then it would make sense. But it seems like since with the cardigan, you're going on an inside situation.
I felt more bad that I could tell she has no one in her life who is probably in a career type of job. No one.
How'd you get all the way that far though?
Because of what she had on.
Now listen, I would say back in my younger days, back in my 20s, so and such and such, I did work in a more relaxed environment, but I have worn things that were probably not the best. I think I probably wore shorts to my job one time, but it was like I worked at a university, so it felt really relaxed.
It's different than a job interview.
It is completely different than a job interview, but I'm saying it's not. It may not be that she doesn't have anybody professional in her life. It may be that she just thinks she knows better. You know what I'm saying?
Not listening.
Or she thinks that there's a line between there may be somebody professional, but the computing of this is what is standard or this is what is appropriate may not be there for a younger brain. You know what I'm saying?
And they think they know everything. Before I have my current job, when I first came to Houston, I worked as a career counselor at University of Houston. And that was a part of something that we did. We actually had a career closet where students who didn't have professional clothes could go get something for free. And I had a lot of conversations with students who would be like, I'm just going to wear what I'm going to practice. We're going to do practice mock interviews. Well, we'll pretend like this was their interview. So they would come with what they had on. And I saw a lot of people who came in like that. And I had to tell them, like, no, we're going to wear pants, or we're going to wear a skirt, or we're going to wear a dress that goes down to here. And then we're going to put a sweater that fits properly. We're going to put... So someone had to tell them.
Everybody needs that. It's not... I wouldn't say it's necessarily that people don't have somebody professional in their life, but they're probably not paying attention to it. So, you know, the organization that had that... okay, how do I say this? The organization that I was a part of that had retreats every year. We would have a business casual or a snappy casual day when we had our confidence walk and we do the runway and all that stuff every year. And so you're supposed to come in like a snappy casual, which is like a more relaxed way of a business casual. But you would see like cocktail attire or nightclub attire sometimes because you don't know, or you have like a nightclub dress with a blazer. That don't cut it. So it's like having that conversation, especially as a young woman. It's like, it's not even about trying to be like a virtuous woman or anything like that. It's not about that. It's just about there is a time and a place for things. Like when Turkey Leg Hut put that whole dress code thing on, where like, don't come over here doing A, B, and C. It's like if this is a universal principle of like when you go to a standard job interview, this, you need to have on pants or a skirt below the knees. You need to have on a long sleeve shirt or a collared shirt. You need to have on a blazer or a cardigan, something like that. So that it's just to keep it like focused on what you're saying and what the interview and gigs and your skills and stuff like that.
And also I feel like the know-it-all part, because I did have some people who would come in and be arguing with me about it. So, okay, show up to your interview like that.
Right, it's like you just want to bug up against the system at the same time.
But they just feel like they know everything. And my whole thing is no one knows everything. If we're telling you this, at some point we didn't know. And we listened, and we listened to, okay, this person already has a job. Maybe I should listen to them. This person's in the career that I want. Maybe I should not think I know everything when I haven't done everything. You're new to this world. Like, it's I get frustrated with that. Because, yes, I had friends. I was in college. I did a lot of college prep things. I did internship from freshman year up. I went to seminars where people taught me how to show up professional in a professional setting, how to dress appropriately. I was taught that. And so I think some people don't seek that knowledge. They assume that they know. They don't need anyone to help them. And then they show up like this.
I think it can, and for my sentiments, for what I get from the younger folk, is it's not that they don't know. It's like, it shouldn't be this way, so I'm not going to do it type of thing. And so if you want to have that position, that's fine, but don't be mad if somebody sends you home or doesn't hire you.
I think actually it was very nice of the recruiter to even offer her another opportunity. If I'm being honest.
I would do that though, because it's like there is... Well, after I saw this video, I would have been like, no, you can't come back.
Right.
Because it would be different if you accepted
I'm like, I didn't know, I'm sorry.
Right, the advice that I said, but then you going to go in here huffing and puffing on the internet like, was I wrong? It's like, yes, you were. And since you got that attitude, you cannot work here.
Because most recruiters, to be honest, will just let you do your little interview and just not call you back. Not give you a job. Period. Like, 90% of recruiters would do that.
I saw another one. So after I saw that video, I scrolled to a bunch of them, and there was one girl who went into some like medical place to get it for a job interview. She had on, it seemed like some black yoga pants and a cream long sleeve top, kind of like this one, but her shoulders weren't out. And she said she went in, her mom recorded her coming right back out, and they were like, they told me to reschedule the interview and come with a different outfit.
And that's nice of them. Like, they must know they're interviewing young professionals who don't know or who haven't.
But what's happening with the career center in schools?
People don't go.
But like, y'all have to know. They
don't go. No, when I worked there, students we didn't have a whole flood of students coming through there. Before you come out of high school, there needs to be some etiquette training on what to do in the job field, in the workforce when you get there, because everything hasn't caught up to your thinking. Gen Z is not running stuff out there like that. So when y'all get a chance where you can start running everything and you're the managers of everything, then you can reset the rules. But until then, you need to show up the way the rules are set. Yeah, and so my whole thing is when I worked at the Career Center, students wouldn't come. We would have events, we would have workshops, we would have speakers. We did their resumes for them. We did mock interviews. We would have career fairs. And there'll be that small percentage of students who are usually the business students who are business majors, usually. The school of business, I was a business student, they push it. Every class you take, I had one professor, it was like accounting, we had to come to class dressed business professional. So the business school will teach you.
Right.
The other majors, not so much.
Not so much.
So they don't really tell you. So that's when the career center is supposed to be for them, but people in the other majors don't go to the career center.
And think of this, it's like, so two things. I want to add on to the thing about having those events and nobody comes. When my first couple of years working at the university, I did host this thing for 2 or 3 years in a row called Job Week. And it was all out. I had professors come, and because it was like specifically Black studies. And like after you get out of if you're getting a degree in Black studies, I want to put a program around to help you know how to work with this, how to get a job with this, how to do whatever you want to do, something creative or something that's more traditional. You need to know how to use this degree. So I would have the people come and talk about it, but I think maximum people I had was maybe 20 people, and that was on the third year. The first year was like 2-3 people. Second year was like 14 people. Third year is like 20-something people. But it's like that a lot. There as many Black studies majors as there weren't. I don't think there were enough of them that came to learn about this, because I remember we talk about it all the time. Coming out of college jobless. I'm like, I don't want you to have that same experience I had when I was jobless for who knows how long. And your degree is more difficult to explain. And everything, you're not going to get to go join everybody's not going to be able to do it, join a policy institute or a think tank or work at a university. Like, you're going to have to get a regular job. So how do you communicate these skills?
And I think, and I can't tell, I don't know if she's in college or not. I don't know the context around why she thought this was appropriate. But
I know, what job was she applying to?
I don't know. Like, if she was applying for a job that was not in a professional environment, like maybe it's not in the office, or then maybe. If it was honestly, if she was a college student applying for an on-campus job, I would have been like, okay. You know. But
right, because it looked like she was about to go apply to be a camp counselor.
Yes.
That is giving camp.
Yeah. But if she was applying for like a real deal adult professional job, I'm telling you, she should be so grateful that the recruiter even gave her another opportunity to interview the next day. Period.
Well, people are probably already like, well, you know, the generations coming into the workforce, we are going to have to be a little more diligent, gentle with them. Because I remember me and Robert, we were going out to eat, and it was at like a pickleball place. And the girl who was ringing us up, she looked really young, but the girl literally was having a breakdown because she couldn't figure out how to print us off a receipt. And at the end of the day, I was like, we don't even need a receipt. Like, you don't have to give us one. So it's like, I just feel like Gen Z in the workplace is just, they're struggling.
Because they're struggling. I said this before. They have this different type of entitlement. And I think it's because they're looking at...
Well, that's what people say about us.
But we worked hard. Like, we might be entitled, but we put our money behind us being entitled. We started businesses. Our generation has the most entrepreneurs. We have the most millionaires. So we were doing that because we could back it. Like, you can't be entitled and you can't back it. Like, our generation's also known for being the hustle generation.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 businesses because we want to do what we want to do. I think this generation under us, they want to do what they want to do, but they don't want to do the hustle part of it.
Right.
They want to relax and have self-care, but then they want the power of the grind. And that's not how it works. I definitely understand
that. It's like, you got to do the grind first. You got to, this is the most, we don't want to pay no dues generation. And I love Gen Z. I ride for Gen Z, but in the workplace, I worry about y'all. I really do.
Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, like, I've had coworkers who were a little bit younger. I had this one coworker. My company's fully remote, so we're on Zoom a lot. And he's always on Zoom with his gamer's headphones on and his gamer's chair lit up. And then he wears glasses so I could see him playing, like...
You lying. You're lying.
In the reflection of his glass. Because he always has his camera on, because he has no shame. Turn your camera on. Our cameras are optional at my job. You do not have to have your camera on.
They're optional?
They're optional. I never have my camera on. You do not have to. He is always...
They're nice. That's nice of them.
Yeah, he always has his camera on. You don't even know to hide it, bro.
Tell them about that friend, your friend's coworker.
Okay, so one of my friends, she actually works for a millennial-owned company.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more lax.
Yeah, it is lax.
So it's a little bit more.
Do you think if this girl went to that job interview with shorts, she would have been accepted?
In person, they probably just would have been like,
And that's what I was gonna say. Here's the thing. They always say dress one step above the job you're applying for.
Yeah, that's what I said. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
And then dress one step above the job that you have. So because the job that you're applying for, because the interview is separate from what your actual work life is going to be at this job. It's your representative. This is where you come, and it's like you try to think. Imagine an interview is like this is coming in as like a blank slate, and you need to just show like the facts and show your personality as well. But it needs to be about your personality and to make sure it's a culture fit, and then your skill sets and communicating those.
Yeah, I mean, just like the Rachel Zoe quote, style is a way to say who you are without having to speak.
Exactly.
So if you're always like that coworker at my job, like he always has on some type of like anime t-shirt with his gamers thing. I'm not taking you professional. I'm not taking you seriously. Because I'm thinking, oh, you probably game all day when you're not here. If my boss has the opportunity to give someone an opportunity to maybe speak, she's probably going to be worried about having him do it because he's going to be presenting it from the whole company. How is he going to show up?
I think people who do that, but then they're on their shit, like for real, they get more passes. But if you show up kind of like, blasé and haphazard with your appearance, and then your work ethic and what you deliver is matching that, then you're not going to really make an impact in the role that you have. So that's
honestly, it does really reflect it. Like if you're a more casual person, like I have a friend, she's a hippie. Like she's just very hippie. She's very. Like she's one of those, I don't wear bras ever. Like that's just her energy. But that's how she is with like, as long as I've known her, she's like a little flower. Like she's just,
that's funny.
And she dressed like that in flowy clothes. Yeah. She's very flowy.
Yeah.
I would not like call her.
Like, you ain't gonna catch me without no bra in most places.
No, but she's just very free for all. And it is a reflection of her personality. She's like that. Like she doesn't want to work in an office. She doesn't want anything that's too professional and structured. Like that's just not her. She's very go with the flow, free from. So it is a reflection. Right. So if she were to come into an interview dressed like that, I would not be mad if the people thought, oh, she's a little flowery, because that is who she is. So this girl coming in this energy, I'm sure they're like, I don't know if she'll fit this role. I don't know if she can be professional.
Right. It's like, I don't know if you have good judgment.
Yeah.
It's like that's coming to a job interview and not understanding how this is a separate introduction to the company than how your actual presentation will be on the actual job. It's like you not having that understanding lets me know where to put you already.
Because we have to realize someone hiring you, I think we missed this, they're putting a lot of trust in you to represent their company. Their company is their baby. So they're hoping you're going to come in and represent them well. Your email on their behalf. If you screw up, they get in trouble. We've seen how many times some employee at Burger King does something stupid. Now Burger King's getting sued, right? So like who people hire, that they're going to be a little bit watching you like, this person will represent me well? Are they going to show up in front of a client? And
when have you ever walked into an office and saw somebody in shorts? That's one thing I've never seen.
I don't want to see my coworker's thighs. I'll be honest. I do not want to see my coworker's thighs. Purry. I don't want to see your thighs. That's a man or a woman. Don't come to work in your hoochie daddy shorts. I do not want to. I don't want to see your thighs. Okay. So it is a reflection. Like people are deciding they want to pay you or not. They don't need you. So I think that it's part of the entitlement. But
I don't know. So let me show you this other video of somebody else she was, what did she say?
Y'all see the video of the girl who was on the phone with HR getting terminated, and so she decided to record it?
Okay, so this goes into just Gen Z overall, or not just Gen Z, people acting a fool at work in general. So let's finish this topic, and then I want to show you something else.
So before we finish this one, I will say I went to this conference called the National Sales Network conference. It's for people in the sales field. It was a lot of pharmaceuticals, but anyone in the sales field. It's for Black professionals. Okay, so the people in this room were CEOs, VPs, chief marketing, like C-suite people on all ranges. Black people who were doing the dang thing. Okay, these people are at the top of their careers at this conference. And so two of the speakers were women. One, her name was Bozoma St. John. I wish I knew who she was before this, but she was executive at PepsiCo for years. Then she was a high marketing executive at Apple. She launched Apple TV. Like literally got in front of the whole Apple launch. She did the presentation.
I love that.
And then now she's a CMO of Netflix. Okay, she's a boss. She's a young, well, probably 40s, beautiful Black woman. And one thing she was saying in her keynote was she always shows up authentically who she is, right? But that doesn't mean unprofessional.
Yes.
She doesn't water herself down. She's not trying to assimilate. She's not like, oh, I gotta press my edges out because people don't like natural hair. She's not doing that. She's finding out how to be who she is, but also be professional so that she's respected for who she is. People aren't like coming to the meetings trying to figure out, oh, what's she gonna have on today? It's more of, oh, this is just who she is, right? And she wasn't some like cookie cutter looking woman. Like she had this big curly hair, colorful clothes, like, but she looked nice.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like dressing professional doesn't mean it has to be absent of style or color or even anything fun. Like you could wear pants and still show your personality in a job interview or at work in general. You could wear a long skirt. You could wear a medium skirt or a midi skirt. But it's just here's the rule of thumb. If more of your skin is showing than what is covered, then that is not what you should wear to a job interview. Yeah. And she had a lot of skin showing.
Because the point of coming to work is not to be sexy. Let's be clear. You're not, I mean, some people do that.
Right. Some people do have sexy jobs.
Yes. But if you're in an office setting, usually you want to be respected. You want, when you speak, people to respect what you're saying, for them to think that you are well-versed, for them to listen to your opinions. That's what you're wanting. You don't want to be known as a sex kitten. That's not going to help you in any way. You know what I mean? So you understanding the difference between that. And I think the generation, because we're a little bit more, I mean, sex is always sold, but I think it's a hard line that people don't see. That there's a line between
because how do you explain that Megan Thee Stallion doing the body yaddy yaddy with that suit crop top?
Oh my God,
that was hilarious. I was like, I don't like the way a suit looks at a crop top.
No,
and Democrat blue. It just looked. I didn't like it. No. That outfit was a no for me.
But even when we talk about politics, but even we talk about the women who have run for any position. Usually, like Kamala. Yeah. Right. She always is wearing a pantsuit.
La 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 la.
She's always wearing a pantsuit. And it's kind of usually a little loose fitting. She could be a little bit, but loose fitting. Same as Hillary when she ran, pantsuit. So there's been articles.
Hillary should have came out with a pantsuit clothing line the way she was wearing them suits.
But they both literally always wear pantsuit. And I think Hillary's one who said it. She said the reason she does that because she wants when she walks in the room, for it not her legs, her shape, her whatever, not to be the topic of conversation. I'm in here to run this country. I'm not in here.
Yeah, and so I definitely think the higher up you are, and the more C level, and the more executive level, it is more and more of a man's world. And so if you're going to be, I think that if you're going to be taken. It's hard to be taken seriously as a woman, period. So then to go in and look like you were only here listening to my voice, hopefully, because you ain't got nothing else to look at here. I got shoulder pads and loose pants. Right. So ain't nothing to look at.
Right. Don't be distracted.
But so hear me.
Yeah. And I think this young woman, I hope that she took even the TikTok criticism and she made some changes, because it's going to be hard unless she creates her own company, which people do. Create your own thing, create your own rules.
Right, exactly.
But if you're wanting someone else to put their business in your hands and they don't even know how you're going to show up to it, you can't show up to an interview. Got your thighs out. It's a
listen,
risk.
She done went viral from this, so go ahead and give some updates on how you're looking now. You can start doing a whole clothing, a professional. You can switch this up and be like, now snappy casual, business casual. Style, get some sponsorships, get some people to hook you up with some free clothes.
But I've seen some very cute shorts, suits, but they're a lot longer. She could have made it if she really wanted to wear some shorts, but then this wasn't doing it up here. This was not doing it up here. So that's why I feel like no one saw her outfit before she left. No one was like,
right, like who? Nobody said that. Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe she didn't have anyone in her world who she passed that by.
I mean, but that's the thing. Even if she did, would she care enough to ask?
I think I would have told if I saw my friend or anyone walking out like that. But even if she didn't listen to them, I think if someone at least said it, she would have got on TikTok.
So I have a little sister, and she is Gen Z, and so if she would have wore shorts to the interview, I would. And she was walking out the house, I would be like, "Oh, you wearing shorts to an interview?" And she'll be like, "Yeah." I said, you think that's a good idea?" That's something I would say, and she'd be like, "What's the problem?" I said, "I don't know if you should wear those." And you're like, "Well, if they don't hire me, then that's on." Like, this is a she's never said this, but this could possibly be what happens. She could be like, well, if they don't want to hire me, that's on them. And I'd be like, well,
they got money. They got money. They have money. You don't got no money. No, I'm not the type.
Do you understand?
I'm not the type who feels like the women I told you. There's another woman, Carolyn Waga. She's like super eccentric in her clothes. Mm-hmm. She runs Essence. She used to be an executive at Target for like heck of years. Mm-hmm. Professional. Mm-hmm. But she's not sexy, but she's unique, right? Mm-hmm. That's how, if you want to bring yourself, you can be unique and not try to.
But the thing about those shorts, there was nothing sexy about them. Nothing sexy about the outfit.
To us, I'm not attracted to little girls.
No. Even still, a sexy outfit is a sexy outfit. It just looked, first, I'm like, why would somebody make shorts out of these type of slacks material?
People wear that to brunch.
Right, but that's cute with like a corset thing with like some heels. That's cute in that scenario. But to wear those shorts with a cardigan and a tank top,
she didn't know. I really felt like
it just was not cute. And no matter where she was going,
she really thought. That's what I could tell. She really thought this. She did not know.
But it wasn't. But I don't think it was. I don't think she was in the sexy realm. It was in the like what realm?
She has no idea. Right. Like I really feel like no one had told her. That's what it felt like. Like she had never heard that this was a professional. That's how it felt. Like she just, I could tell.
She like her face, her arms was crossed. She was like
she really thought TikTok was about to defend her.
Right. It's like, look what I wore. Everybody was like, girl, why?
Now, not that I do not condone baiting and switching. I do not condone it. Okay. But even if she had just put on the regular smuggler suit just to get the job, and then decided, well, I got the job, now I'm gonna wear shorts, I would have appreciated that more than you come to this interview.
The moral of the story, don't wear shorts to an interview. Please, just don't. There was no reason to do that. It's like I want to know the story behind those pants. How'd she get them? Did she buy them for the interview? And when she wore them for the interview, like, what was her thought process? Like, this is professional.
Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't thinking about professional. She was just like, the material. The material was slacks. Bump the rest of the 95% of the pants that are missing.
I don't know if I'm mad at the outfit or her TikTok.
I'm mad at both. The outfit is bad and the TikTok was worse.
Well, I definitely don't feel like she made a good first impression. and that's what a job interview is about. It's about a first impression.
Right. But, I mean, if this is her first time going out for a job, hopefully whoever is out here hiring young people, they give them chances.
And they did. They tried to give her a chance.
Right. Well, hopefully they didn't see that video and they still won't give her a chance. But if they saw it, this most likely you ain't gonna get them a chance.
I'm telling you, I've never been heard of an interviewer giving you a second chance. So she should be grateful.
No, I haven't. Yeah,
they just won't hire you. Mm-hmm. I've been on the interviewing side, and I remember when I worked at CSUN, we were interviewing for the front desk. A girl came in Uggs.
No,
her clothes, everything else was professional. She had a blazer on, a button-up shirt. She had on jeans, but they were like, okay, but the Uggs. And I was a college student too, and we were about the same age.
But listen. My mom worked an office job, so she would go to work in first she worked in hospitals, so she would work in scrubs, and then she worked in the office. She had on slacks and like little blouses and stuff like that. But I mean, that if you're working inside of an office, that's generally the case, unless it's explicitly said, "Come casually, come as you are." Like I also worked at a place called Holt Look that lets you come to work in your pajamas. Like you could come to work looking like anything. You could watch Netflix while you're in the office and working. They just want to make sure you're happy. Want to make sure that you are just, as long as you do your work, everything else goes. But you had to be in the office at the time. I think it's probably different now because that was years ago. That's the type of place you want to get hired at. Yeah. But I still went to that interview
just nice
in interview clothes. Everybody who was there for the orientation and the training still had on your professional attire.
No, this girl had on...
The pajamas started after you get on the floor and you start doing your work.
No, this girl had on Uggs. And I remember me and the other student interviewing, and it was our boss who's a full-time professional. We interviewed. We went all the way through the interview with her, and then at the end of it, we were like, that girl had on Uggs. And we just didn't hire her.
Right. And generally, and honestly and truthfully, the people who come to stuff in like Uggs and shorts, I'm most likely not going to hire them because you do not have enough sense to know how to come to this interview.
And
so
you didn't put forth effort.
And I don't trust that you're going to have enough sense to do it, the simplest things, like give a receipt at a job
and
or
my
do
whole
something
thing
like
is,
that.
even if no one's told you, Google exists. I have Googled a company, Googled what's professional attire. Just Google it.
She had to have worn those before someplace and was like, it worked there.
Probably to apply at McDonald's.
But even then, at McDonald's, I don't know if I would. Listen, if I'm running a McDonald's, I'm trying to run tip-top shape McDonald's. I want to be in a award-winning McDonald's. You coming over here, it's going to be, everybody's going to be tight.
Yeah. And like I said, like, if you're working for another company, your job, especially when you're entry level, is to come in there and blend in with their culture that they're set for their company. This is their culture. Okay? Now, some of these cultures are ridiculous, and there are a lot of other issues. We're not talking about race issues. We're not talking about gender issues. We're talking about, like, professional standards. Like, if you're going to be a lawyer, most lawyers come to work in suits because that's the culture of that industry.
Right.
If you work in, like, my job, we're virtual, but when we have camera on, everyone tries to put on something like a blue blazer on top of it and get pajama shorts, whatever. But my whole thing is, your job is not to come here and decide what what the norm is. Like,
right. Yes, it is not your job for you to come and reset the norm.
No.
Like, and not to say you can't be a change maker. You can, but that comes in a process.
Yes.
That don't just come on first day.
That's like with anything. If I start any new environment, new group of friends, new anything, I'm going to come in, get a feel for what they have going, and then build a rapport. And then if I want to, like, hey, I think we should do this, then you make changes. You don't just come in from the jump like, oh, we're wearing shorts now. Like, that's not your decision. And I just feel like this generation, they just feel like they're supposed to come in and be the boss. With what background? Like, even my little brother.
With what background?
My little brother's like 24, and I'll tell him something, and his first response is, I know. No, you don't. You don't know. You don't know. What do you know? How do you know? Like, it's just, before he even hears what I said, I know. I know. No. You tell me you know one more time. Like,
listen, she's trying to get on. She's trying to be mama over here.
Yes, but it drives me nuts because most of the times, me and my sister do so much to help him, and most of the things that he has, like his job, his car, we pushed him into it. We told him what to do, but he fought us tooth and nail all the way up into it. I don't fought us about getting his hair lined up for an interview. He's about to go to an interview looking rusty dusty. It doesn't matter. I'll just go get your hair lined up. Just go look nice. Figure out how to look presentable. Does not listen to us, and then when he finally gets the job or gets the promotion, then he's excited. Oh, I love this job. I've been trying to tell you, and I think that's a representation of the whole generation. Like, they fight us.
Oh yeah, my sister, she definitely is a fighter about what anybody says about anything. And the bill came due, and so she's learning those hard life lessons.
So I don't want all the bills to come due for y'all, but I kind of do.
The bill comes due, so y'all need to start listening.
Yes,
because at the end of the day, we are still running the world, not y'all.
And if you want to run the world, then do something. Start some businesses, or if you're not going to start some businesses, get some degrees, do whatever.
Right, give back. Use this TikTok and YouTube money and do something that's going to build things where you can make your own decisions and stop just judging everybody for theirs.
And the thing about, like, even not dressing professionally, it's like a slippery slope. So if you start down here, people are always going to go a little bit less than what you set the standard at. So if we set the standard at, oh yeah, booty shorts are okay, next thing we know, people coming here.
They were camp shorts, not booty shorts.
Okay,
but camp shorts.
But if we set it here, you're going to go 2 levels below that. Because that's what people do. Like, my job is professional setting, but we really be wearing a nice top and a sweater, right? Because we're going to, because when you get comfortable, you get a little more casual.
Exactly.
So if we're starting casual, You know what I mean? Then people
the thing that makes it hard for me with this video where I have mixed feelings is that she tried.
She did.
She really tried. But the huffing and puffing on the internet, it does not show that you tried.
If she had gone on that video and been like, I wore this to an interview, the lady told me to go home, I don't understand why.
Yeah,
what do I have on the, like, tell me what the problem is? And she would have been like, you help me understand, y'all. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, oh, she really doesn't know, let's tell her. Mm-hmm. But she was like, y'all see this? Y'all, like, she was very...
Exactly.
Arrogant.
Attitude-ish about it.
Yes.
It's like, girl, I don't know what you thought. Like, you thought that everybody's going to be on your side. This is not a appropriate outfit for an interview.
And I'm sure millennials are pretty...
lax, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, first of all, Gen Z is always all the ones complaining about how millennial children are in school and they don't listen because millennials do gentle parenting and how we need to discipline our kids and all this stuff. So they got a lot of criticism for everybody else but themselves, and they think that they are the right ones. But there's like, everybody has something to say about what everybody else is doing. Worry about what you're doing.
Yeah. So my thing is, I just hope, first of all, the thing about going viral, it could be good and bad. Mm-hmm. And so I hope this doesn't negatively impact whatever she tries to do professionally. Because once stuff is on the internet, it's on the internet. We know her name. Mm-hmm. So I just, because I've gone viral. I have a video gone viral. And I got a call, what was that? This weekend? This video I posted in March.
Okay.
March. It has 1.7 million views at this point. Posted in March. I got a call a couple days ago from my mom's friend from when I was 5.
Wow.
Okay? I didn't even have her number in my phone. I answered, I'm like, hello. She's like, hi. I'm like, who's this?
How's she get your number?
Blah, 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 from her sister who I do talk to. And I was like, hey. She's like, I saw your video on TikTok. And I was like,
and?
Whatever.
So weird.
She's like, do you need help? And I was like, no, I'm fine.
Excuse me?
Like, that's how it doesn't just go away. That was from March.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I can't imagine if I posted a video about, like, complaining about my job or complaining about 1.7 million people is a lot. So in the likelihood of it being in your circle of influence, who are going to see it is a lot.
Yes.
A lot of my mom's friends saw my video. A lot of my random friends from college saw my video.
She said, do you need help?
Yeah, I'm sure I had coworkers who saw it. They just haven't told me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure.
That's funny.
I'm sure I had coworkers who saw it. I mean, luckily I didn't say anything about work, but
yeah,
I'm sure. You know what I mean? So the thing about going viral, you don't know who's going to see it. And so just be careful. I saw a news article about this.
You did?
That's why I sent you a screenshot. That was news.com.
Oh, wow.
So
that's because everybody got the conversation now. It's like, when are y'all going to start coming to work like you got some sense?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's like, and like I said, I love Gen Z because I do like the outspokenness. I do like we're going to change this way because it's the old way. We don't want to do it this way. But there's also, like, you throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, you just, like, you go scorched earth on things. And there's grace that needs to be put in there. So there needs to be grace on both ends with this dress situation.
Yeah.
And then there's just, there's patience. And there's just a process that they don't comprehend yet.
Yeah, and I think in order to even change something, you have to understand it. And I could tell she does not understand
why you have to come to work looking a certain way.
Yeah. So anyone who has a problem with the professional norms, because even when I worked in the Career Center, we would, within our department, have these debates about what is considered professional and what are we being fair telling them this, or is it gender neutral saying this is professional or this isn't. So there is a lot of debate about it, and I get it. But in order for you to make a change to something, you have to understand it fully. So then once you understand it, then you know what parts you need to keep. Right. What parts you should change.
Like the parts that make sense for dress code is like the reason why the Crown Act exists. Where people would be like, you can't wear your hair natural at work and you can't wear braids or this or that and the other. It's like as long as my hair is not neat, it shouldn't matter how if my hair grows out of my hair like an afro, then I'm going to wear this afro. Right. And if as long as it's maybe it's more slick, maybe it's just in a style, it's not just out and about, because I don't want somebody who has more like flat hair to come in and just like bedhead. You know what I'm saying? Like that is also inappropriate. Yeah. But having a groomed appearance is really what it's all about at that
neat
point.
And clean. Neat, clean, and groomed. Right. I remember I did my first interview for University of Houston wearing braids. My dad almost, oh my goodness. He was just like, I remember I FaceTimed him like right before the interview, and he's like, hun, you need some money? And I was like, I mean, yeah, but why? When's your interview? Next week? You getting your hair done? My hair is done. Like, it was a whole thing. He even talked to my sister. He didn't press it in that conversation. He just said, oh, okay. And then he talked to my sister.
See, that's how I would handle stuff. I was like, well, that's what you want to do.
But then he went and talked to my sister about it. And he talked to my mom about it. About him not wanting me to wear my braids for my interview. Because shouldn't I take my braids out and maybe get it straightened and something? So my sister came to me. She's like, Dad's really concerned about you wearing your braids. And I was like, but Dad, it's 2020 and da-da-da. And my mom called me, can you take your braids out? Because your dad's really stressed that you're not going to get the job. And like but when I talked to him, he was just like, oh, okay. Right? So
that's hilarious.
So the older generation, so I remember I sent him a picture that day. Because I was dressed professionally. I pulled my braids back into like a sleek ponytail. And I'm like, see, Dad, I look nice. And he was just like, okay. You know what I mean?
So this lets me know by the time Maverick gets, well, first of all, hopefully we going to be far enough where she ain't got to apply for nobody's job in Jesus' name. She will be working for the family business.
Yes.
But if she wants to go out and get a job, they probably going to be just wearing pajamas, like whatever.
But Maverick gonna know, okay? She gonna know, hey.
Exactly.
She'll be the best dressed.
Exactly. No matter what, like I said.
Is she Z? What is she? Z?
I think she's A.
Oh, it's back.
I think it's B now. I think A. Because I have a great niece and nephew that's Gen A. I think she's way after them. So
how old are they?
They are like 11 and 8.
Oh.
So I think she's out of the Gen A now. But no, they haven't given her name yet.
Okay, well, whatever the standards are, she's gonna be the best dressed.
She's gonna be right. If you're gonna wear pajamas, it'll be the flyest pajamas they'd ever seen. Okay.
But yeah, I think with what was her name? Her name was Megan. I think with Megan, the biggest thing is I hope that she's teachable. Because that was my big concern with her. Because it does tell a lot. That whole thing's going to be a lot about her professionally. Is she teachable? Is she humble? And then is she professional? And right now my answer is, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, and then it's also at the same time, there's so many avenues to go for professions now. Online the internet and online work has really busted the doors wide open for what you're able to do, how much money you can make doing whatever you want. So if you're gonna play this game as doing the traditional job, play that game that way. And then there's opportunities elsewhere. Keep listening to this podcast so you can find out how to get access to those opportunities and take advantage of them. Because you can carve a lane out for yourself or go look for a profession where you can be and do whatever you want and look however you want. But while you're on that trajectory upward, do not forsake this time that you have and come to work the way that they want you to come to work.
Yeah. Get the money. And then when you have some clout, make the changes that you want.
Right. So exactly.
Let's jump to things we wish we knew.
Okay. So dressing professional doesn't mean looking stiff. Professional doesn't mean drab. You can still be vibrant and cute and stylish and fashionable.
Yeah. I agree. I think I know now, but I wish I knew then. I wish I knew there was a balance between personal expression and maintaining professional standards. It's a fine line between the two. And it might seem impossible, but it's doable. You know what I mean? And I feel like earlier in my career, because I was so nervous about being seen as unprofessional, most of my work clothes are black. Like I wore black slacks, white button up.
Right.
Like, it was very, because I was like, I'm just trying to keep this job. But as I've gotten older, now I understand what professional is. I'm able to make changes that are still professional that fit me.
Exactly. I can still bring my personality to things.
Yes, I can still be me because I understand it. I get, okay, it's not about me wearing black slacks all the time and this button up. It's not about that. It's about me looking tailored, looking put together, looking presentable, looking professional. That's what it's about. So I can do that with different colors. I can do that with different suits or pants, or I can do it in different ways. So now I'm able to add more of my expression now that I understand the rules.
Exactly. I don't understand the rules, but one thing that inspired me, even though I started off my job journey with wearing like gray and drab suits and things like that, I was inspired by Legally Blonde and how she would be wearing those pink suits, and her suits were fly. I loved them. Like if I'm going to be a professional, I want to come looking fly like this. And so she still had a suit. She still was tasteful, but she had her fashion and flair all over that.
And she's also good at what she did.
Yes.
So she was able to...
Well, I mean, I want to go say she was good.
I mean, she won that case.
She did, but it was a fluke.
She won, okay? So she was able to back whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I just.
Ooh, sorry.
I was gonna say I just wish I had known that I didn't have to be blah to be professional.
Another example is on Deborah Wears Prada and how she came in looking really just like unput together. She was like, you now work on a fashion company. You got to dress a step above the job that
you represent us.
Exactly. You represent yourself working for this job and you represent the job.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter on both spectrums, like if you're your guy who's over here dressing all sluggish, like not sluggish, but like casual, right, sloppy and stuff like that. Like there's a line. Don't go that far. But also the girl was trying to be dressed up, but know what is tasteful and what is appropriate. So there's a lot of rules to the professional space. Apparently, I thought they were common sense, but apparently they are not.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I wish I knew that. Also, I really want you guys to do me a favor. Subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Follow us, Giggles and Goals, on all the platforms. Watch us, listen to us, comment, like, share, repost, do all the things. Show us some love. We love y'all. We come here every week just trying to inspire you. So inspire us by liking our stuff, please.
And thank you.
Love y'all.
Bye.